too, so that I can make it last with you. I just wanna crash part 2, so that I can make it last with you.
She let me crash like a test dummy. She let me smash it on me. I'm EG, yeah, I got the Chad on me. Swoosh, I just do it, got a check on me. The walls up, she called me Lil Jericho. Turn the lights off, you still see my carrots grow. Who would love you? You would probably would never know. Laughing them, copying, they got paraflows. I'm done with the rapping, girl, what up? Together, girl, we on the come up. Did I mention you hotter than summer? She good in the kitchen doing numbers. Whoa.
I just wanna crash, let's just make it last. Instead of slowing up, we're moving fast. I just wanna crash.
It is Don't Believe the Hype, Donovan Sadiq, and my partner in crime, Demetra K.
Hey.
And we are going to be telling it like it is, how it is, and what it is, just for you guys to get a little a taste of that. You guys check us out. We're on, now we are on Podbeancast, which is another talking platform. And we are, of course, on Facebook, Spreaker, Twitter.
And it's actually
Google
Spreaker,
Plus. Yeah,
not
Spreaker.
Speaker.
Yes, Spreaker, Spreaker. Google Plus, YouTube. You know, we're trying to hit all the platforms. And last Sunday, Dee, we were talking about stay on code. Stay on code.
Basically, it was what happens when we don't stay on code.
Yeah, but to summarize that, what happens when we don't stay on code?
Well, first of all, what it means to stay on code is to not go against the collective of black people. We need to move as a unit, speak and think as a unit as well. We don't, backbite each other and a whole bunch of stuff. And there's, really a couple people come out with a set of codes, one being Neely Fuller Jr., who has defined racism and white supremacy. He has codes. They're actually called the 10 Stops. And then there's like 42 codes called the MAAT, M-A-A-T, where there's a bunch of things that you don't do to each other and to yourself. A lot of those things should come naturally, but sometimes we have to be reminded of, like, don't steal, don't cheat, don't lie, sure. A whole bunch of other stuff. So basically, and to just to kind of sum that up, I was listening to Anthony Browder, and he enlightened me to the fact that the 10 Commandments was actually taken from MAAT.
Really?
Yes, it's an adaptation of it. Well, of course, religion and the Bible is an adaptation of, Kemet, ancient Egypt, and all that kind of stuff. Exactly. So that's a whole other story. But
that's not true.
Well, it is.
Some of my white friends will tell you that. Absolutely not.
Yeah, and so, so when we don't stay on code, we have the schisms in the black community that we see nowadays. But luckily, it seems that we are starting to get on code, especially when it comes to the politics. We know and you're going to get into that obviously, yes, but we have a lot of politicians as usual that are vying for the black vote. But now the collective black people are starting to say, "Hey, not so fast,
not so fast, not so fast." For those of you guys that are wondering, this section is this is Don't Believe the Hype, Donovan Sadiq part of it. This is where we want you guys to pull the curtain back. If you guys look at us, if you're watching us live, right behind us is a green screen. If you pull that green screen open, you're going to see a window. So always what you see isn't exactly what you see, and that's what we try to do on this show and other shows such as Demetra's. We try to uncover the back. We're not telling you who to vote for or how to think, but we want to make sure, whatever your decision is, that you're going to have enough information to make an informed decision.
Correct.
And the topic of this one here is called, has she answered the question yet?
All right. Now, who is she now?
And she is the Tupac-loving,
you know what?
Cardi B having, in her car, cassette tape, whatever she does, things like that. Kamala Harris, Senator Kamala Harris, who is known here in California. She was a former AG of the state of California, and she was a very, very successful prosecutor, having incarcerated several black people on a record high level, as well as single mothers whose kids aren't truant. And she lied on if you watch the Breakfast Show tape, she made it seem like none of those moms.
Yeah, she said nobody.
Yeah, nobody.
Nobody
that
was
is not
affected
true.
or locked up under the truancy law that she wanted.
Yeah, that was not true. And if they weren't locked up, they were given $300 fines.
$1,000.
Yeah, in some cases.
That's $1,000 fine. Yeah,
$1,000 fines now.
And then if they couldn't pay it, then they went to jail, so
Right.
it's like a slippery slope.
Yeah,
for
you're
them.
stuck. You have to get a
Yeah.
lawyer. You have to do all that, and that pretty much affects the poor community.
Absolutely, it's just a fact.
So let's look at a clip real quick that you guys can see and check out. I'm just gonna give you guys a couple clips where you can check out Kamala Harris laughing and cooning and doing the whole thing on the Breakfast Club. So check this out.
We were talking about how under the Obama administration, for example, they extended Pell Grants, right? Which our kids really rely on to get them through school.
Right.
And extended it so it wouldn't just be for the school year, but through the summer. We can talk about what under President Obama happened in the Holder Justice Department around getting rid of the mandatory minimums, and in particular the crack and powder cocaine disparities, and also those investigations, pattern and practice investigations, so much. So, and a continuation of that would be part of my agenda. The Black agenda has to include HBCUs and looking at the historical fact that when the federal government gives attention to HBCUs, we end up having a profound impact on Black people in America. I think the numbers are something like almost 60% of Black professionals in America have come from HBCUs, either in undergrad or graduate school.
Ever since Trump came in office, it just seems like it's just been an outspurt of racism going on, and it seems like it's hurting our kids more than anything else out there.
So I travel around the country, and I will tell you that I'm not buying the suggestion that we are divided as a country. And here's why I say that. You know, when you wake up in the middle of the night with that thought that's been weighing on you, maybe it's, some people call it the witching hour, 3 o'clock in the morning, when you wake up in a cold sweat with that thing that's been worrying you, it is never through the lens of the party with which you're registered to vote or, the demographic a pollster put you in. And for the vast majority of us, that thought has to do with one of just a very few things. Our personal health, the health of our children or our parents. Can I get a job, keep a job, pay the bills by the end of the month? For so many of our students, can they pay off their student loans? The vast majority of us have so much more in common than what separates us. And we've got to hold on to that in this fight right now. And then look to 2018, frankly, and the elections that are coming up in almost 200 days as an opportunity to act. What I love about this moment with this administration in power is people are acting. Look back to the Women's March.
Yes.
Look to the March for Our Lives.
Absolutely.
The March for Science. Because also this administration is putting forward policies that basically say science should not be the basis of public policy, which is ridiculous. But people are taking to the streets in a way they never have. And in that way, our democracy is working. Now we just got to take to the streets and then walk those streets to the polling place and vote.
There's a meme that says Kamala Harris broke the state record for incarcerating black males.
Well, that's just not true.
You know the meme is correct, right?
Yes, I do.
let's
Don't
make
do that.
it-
Come on
I'm
now.
making
Don't date her
sure,
like
I'm
that.
making
Come
sure.
on now.
He went to Hampton. He doesn't know that.
She said cassette tapes. I was making sure. She said cassette
You-
tapes.
You used to do mixtapes.
I know,
I was
I know.
talking about that was how long ago it was
I know.
that I've been in this, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're saying the meme is bullshit.
I'm saying that, listen, there are going to be all kinds of allegations being made. And I invite and I not only invite, I encourage folks to look at the real record. And there are going to be people who they want to own and a certain territory in politics. And they are concerned that I understand the issues. And so they're going to try and hit below the belt. My mother raised us with many beliefs and rules, and one of them was don't just sit around complaining about something, do something about it. And over the course of the last 2 years, we have all seen so much that is wrong. We have seen American values under attack. We have seen the American dream under attack. We have seen babies being taken from their parents at the border in the name of border security when in fact it's a human rights abuse. We have seen an economy that is not working for working people. They passed this tax bill that is benefiting big corporations in the top 1%. And meanwhile, middle class America is trying to get through each month and pay the bills.
That's a fact.
They are denying climate change. I mean, it's extraordinary what's happening. All to benefit big corporations in the top 1%. And that is not reflective of what we need, much less who we are. And that's why I decided to run.
So there it is in all her glory. She was over there, she seemed very comfortable and her people. But what is the one thing that I noticed in the clip, and you guys see the full clip later, is for the first time she is identifying herself as a black woman.
Yeah, and I listened to the whole thing, and toward the end, she just came out with it and says, "Yes, I'm black. I'm a black woman. I am black." And I was like, "Well, damn. Like, why did it take you so long to get to that point?"
Right, but how are you black if you have no black ancestry in your family? But you see what I'm saying? How is she saying she's black if we now know, if you've done your homework, that this is not a black woman? She's a woman of color.
She's identifying with being black because her father was born in Jamaica, but her father, from what I understand, now correct me if I'm wrong, he's Indian and white.
Yes.
Born in Jamaica.
Yes.
Right.
My nephew's grandfather, he's from Trinidad. He's a Trinidadian Indian, a native there. So is he black? No, because you look at his hair, it's straight and all of this. So he's an indigenous type person from Trinidad. So she's a woman of color. I'm not taking that away from her, but she's not black. But why is it she is identifying black with the drug culture?
Oh, you mean when she made the reference to her smoking marijuana and she said, "I did inhale"?
Yeah, her smoking marijuana. Remember, here in California, she was against the legalization, and then it got popular, and then now she's for it, and then now she's admitting, "Oh, I hailed and I did this and I." Yeah, we know what else you were smoking too.
I guess the problem that I don't, you know what? For the Breakfast Club interview, because that's what we're referencing with Charlamagne the God, DJ Envy, and Angela Yee. They
could
had
have
her
done a
on
better
there.
job. Yeah, they could have done a better job.
It definitely was a softball interview. But so I'm not mad at her.
Right.
I'm not mad at her for answering the softball questions with softball answers. But I'm like, okay, because, Charlamagne then made a point to say, well, we see all the stuff that's going on the internet. People are saying this and that about you. And it's like, ask her the questions that you see. Don't try to just go to the low-hanging fruit. Oh, I see some silly memes. Because, that's the silliness is out there, too. But really address, like they tried to ask her about the black agenda. And to me,
she went totally around
it. She more so defended Barack Obama, I should say President Barack Obama, than she did, or saying what exactly she's going to do. So she talked about things that encompasses everybody, like, the prison rate. She want to try to lower that, and Obama tried to do that, and this, that, and the other. So she kind of
but we're talking about you.
Yes. So I thought, well, maybe somebody would say, well, what about reparations? And I don't know, maybe they asked her because I wasn't fully paying attention.
No, I was paying attention. They didn't ask her anything about reparations. Yeah, so, remember I sent you that thing with some of the questions and how she answered it? Yeah, reparations. I mean, specifics for black people, because I think Charlamagne or somebody did say to her, like the LGBTQ, whatever, they have stuff. Right.
And Hispanics and everybody else has stuff. So black people are saying, what about them? But she never really fully answered the question.
Well, it's all American. We gotta, when it comes to the black agenda, it's everybody.
Right.
No, we want something specific for us, tangible.
So I'm not mad at her because they dropped the ball on, really giving her that Chris Matthews type of,
Yeah, I love Hillary. Hillary, oh yeah.
Yeah, the woman, I'm saying Chris Matthews is somebody like...
No, he loved Hillary. He gave her nothing but softball questions.
Right, well, okay, well then maybe he's a bad example, but somebody who was really going to ask, as his show is called, hardball questions.
Yeah, but when he's for somebody, there's no hardball questions at all. But
well, that's kind of what they were. They obviously were for Kamala.
Right. And then I just noticed, what I'm getting tired of is the pandering. I'm tired of the pandering. Oh, I smoke weed. Oh, now you smoke weed. Now, when she's in a white...
inhale.
Yeah. When you're in a white group, you don't say stuff like that. She keeps dropping HBCU. These are all code words that she's trying to do to, like, look, I went to an HBCU. They asked her, they say that you weren't raised in this country. My parents were civil rights fighters. I never heard of them.
I never heard of him either, but
she never talked about him until...
Yeah, because what it is, and, so I had made the comment one time that she's really, in essence, like a Rachel Dolezal. Not to be disrespectful. So those of you guys who are unfamiliar with Rachel Dolezal, she is a white woman.
Rachel Dolezal is more black than Kamala Harris.
Wow. But Rachel Dolezal is a woman who obviously got caught a couple years back.
She got exposed.
Yeah, perpetrating that of a black woman, and she's really a white woman. You know, she did the tanning and the braids and all that.
She wants to live her life.
But not to even defend Rachel Dolezal, Rachel at least was doing the work in the black community.
Absolutely.
And so when I say that Kamala is Rachel Dolezal, I mean that she has, how can I say this? The black life has. Well, she has inculcated black life. So what that means is her mom, who is Indian, moved to San Francisco, and I guess they lived in the black neighborhood.
Right, the Berkeley, where it was very countercultured.
Got involved in black things like the civil rights, and just, you know,
Oakland,
surrounded the girls, her and her, Kamala and her sister, with black
that's
culture.
That's like going to, what's that place in New York, Greenwich Village, or what's that village? The Village in New York, where that's where like all the action happens, and the counterculture. Berkeley and Oakland in that time was that area.
So that's what I mean. So in a way, it's kind of like, how can I say this? They're like an implant into the black community, and they have absorbed blackness, if you will. That's such a thing.
The struggle.
Yeah, so that's, and then of course she went to the Howard and all of that. So I think that's how
the mom and dad go through a divorce. Then, according to Kamala, she left here in her formative years, and then she didn't come back until she left here high school. Middle school or something like that.
And then came back, and when she came to college.
And she went to her high school years in Canada.
Yeah.
Then she came and went to Howard for college.
So it's not to call her Rachel. For me, it's not call her Rachel. I just so people can relate to it. It's not to call her Rachel Dolezal to be disrespectful or funny, but it is. It's just like, so I've been hung around black people. It's like, you know, I'm black. Almost like, you know, and everybody knows I love Tina Marie, but Tina Marie, I mean.
Right. I mean, she's been embraced by the culture.
Yeah,
exactly.
and she just, I mean, if you close your
more
eyes and
listen than most black women. Yeah.
I always say Tina Marie was a black woman trapped in a white woman's body.
Yes, exactly. Well, you know, speaking of Tina Marie, if you really think about it, some of the most distinct voices, Tina Marie is up there, like in my top 5, because okay, you got Aretha, you got Shaka, you got Patty. After that, I mean, maybe Gladys, but not really. But you know, Tina Marie's right up there with them. I mean, underneath those great ones, but Tina Marie, soulfully wise, she's there. So that's my top.
Tina Black.
Yeah. Because Rick will tell you, fire and desire. So if you guys watch the clip, you know, the one thing that I did take away from the whole video clip, and you can see it on YouTube, go to, just put in Kamala Harris Breakfast Club. What I watched the video after, but the first thing that I do is I watched and read the comments.
Oh, God, yeah.
The comments were amazing, and I was so proud for the simple fact that people are awoke.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like you said, the likes of the video opposed to the dislikes were outweighed the likes. At one point in time, they were even, but then when I went back, it was
like almost not double, but like 1,000 more, 10,000 more.
I mean, the majority of the comments, probably like 99% of the comments was like, yeah, right, no way.
Right, you're not getting my vote.
Black first,
no tangibles, no vote.
Descendants of, you know, slaves.
DOS.
All no way, man. You know, and so I was like, wow.
And then they were calling out the interview like she didn't answer the question, because Charlamagne the God once again came out and just asked her, what is her black agenda?
Right.
And she went all the way around to the moon, down to the store, got in the car, transferred out the bus station, went down to the metro, got on there, went to LA, came back for the day. I mean, she did everything else but answer the question. And not only her, but Cory Booker. Now, after Cory Booker blew it on the Breakfast Club and he got exposed, he was at another interview event, and he was basically telling black people that we should put ourselves in that poor white man's shoes. And when it comes to blackface, and we got to understand where they're coming from.
Yeah, I saw that, and I was like, I mean, I'm not even really for sure how to take this interview, because I'm not really for sure where Cory was actually trying to go with that. Was he really trying to play to his audience of white people?
I think he was.
Or was he really trying to...
Did you see that white man going like this?
Yeah, the stand behind it. So, or was he really trying to talk to us? And to me, either way, it's like, listen... Because it's almost like the thing that Common did when he was, I forget whose show he was on, when he was saying that black people need to extend a hand or a hand of love or something, you know, basically to white people or whatever the case. And it's like...
We've done that several times.
But that's not even for us to do.
Right.
That's not for why do I need to put myself in the shoes of somebody who thinks that blackface is cool?
Mm-hmm.
We didn't invent blackface.
Right. Blackface is a specific
Yeah,
action.
so why do I need to understand why somebody would want to do that and see, maybe they just don't. No, stop giving white people passes to do racist stuff. I mean, plain and simple.
Yeah, but it was evident to me looking at Cory Booker's thing. He knew he dropped the ball on that interview, and he made sure, once again, he addressed the LGBTQ LMNOP community. He addressed the Hispanic community, the DACA situation, everything specific. But when it comes to, let me ask you this question: Why won't these candidates? And you guys listening, it's very sad. They will not address reparations. They will not even address specifically a black agenda. What's that lady or Williams talking about $100 billion?
Marianne Williamson,
a white woman.
right?
Is addressing reparations now.
Right.
To me, she hasn't gone far enough, but
the snippets that I've heard of her, I mean, she pretty much was knowledgeable about why reparations are important to black people.
Right, and we have to fix a wrong.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. People say, well, and I hate this, and I got relatives telling me, this, that. Well, it's the lesser of two evils. It's still evil. I would rather give my vote to somebody who is addressing my specific issue and lose, knowing that person has no chance of winning, but give my vote over there because I just walked into that person's store and they're saying they're going to give me something tangible that I can agree with.
Right. Well, to your original question of why won't the black candidates just come out and say, we need to do X, Y, and Z.
Or just say, I ain't giving you shit.
It's because this is a really simple answer. They scared of white folks.
Yeah.
That's what it is because, they're still cognizant of the fact that, while we are Democrats and black people overwhelmingly vote Democrat, white people still have the power.
Yes.
We still need white people to vote for us too. And so that also speaks to the fact that the black candidates know that a lot of white people, I don't care how progressive these white people say they are, a lot of white people are going to shake their heads when it comes to giving black people money.
Right.
And a lot of it, because they know those people are like, well, slavery is over. Well, we didn't have anything to do with that.
It kind of seems to me the black candidates that are out there, because the Democratic Party is like, these guys aren't holding these people. These people are woke now, and you guys ain't even doing your jobs, making these people, be dumbed down. It seems to me now, Cory and Kamala now have given up trying to give out to deal with the black vote and trying to get that black vote. They're gonna get a few, but they've now shifted to the centrist.
You know what? I don't think that they've given up. I think they underestimated us, and they didn't realize that black people were actually going to be the opponent instead of an ally.
Right. Okay.
They counted on us to be an ally because we have always been allies to the Democratic Party. But once they got out there, they're like, oh, shit, they're actually an opponent. And so I think now they've gone back into the drawing room or drawing board or whatever and said, okay, that went over like a lead balloon. We really got to come with some tangibles because the same old is not working anymore.
Now, and I want you guys, and I'm glad you brought that up, because I want you guys to remember from this point moving on forward, you're going to see Kamala Harris and Cory Booker talk about black issues to try to reinvest us. Now, I'm not telling you who to vote for or whatever, but the thing is, are they going to be talking about it because they've been called to the carpet, or are they going to talk about it because they're really going to do something about it?
I think it's probably more so that they've been called out. I think that's really it. I mean, they're no different than anybody else who have kind of said, they were going to do, I don't know what for black people, but I think now, but you know what? I think even now they realize it cannot be lip service. And there's actually got to be something more to it than, okay, yeah. I got a black agenda.
I can't go in there and do an Obama and just say
it's got to be more, because somebody made a good point. I can't remember who it was, but somebody made a good point in that after Obama, the next candidate was not going to be able to come in there and get away.
Roland Martin kind of had said that. I think it was Roland Martin where he said that the runway is not going to be there for the next black candidate.
Yeah, that was him. Hold on a second. Go ahead, keep talking.
I'll go ahead and keep talking.
Hey, we on the air. I call you back.
Well, everybody always calls when we're on the air. But so I want everybody to be cognizant of that. That's what's going to happen moving forward. They really underestimated the intelligence of black people. And me personally, I'm insulted. But a lot of people have been asking me, Donovan, right now, if you had to go with it, well, who would you support? Now, I'm not saying I'm giving my person a vote. Now, that one Williams lady, she's got my ear and she's got me looking in her directions because she's addressing something that's going to affect me.
Right.
Okay? Now, and don't get it twisted. I like AOC too. But when it comes to reparations, that is something that is distinctly for DOS people. We already got Hispanics coming here, filling up the DMV line, filling up the emergency rooms, coming here free of charge, and taking advantage of the advantages that is pushing us out. So we're not talking about the reparations should not be for people who cannot.
Yeah, and Dr. Claude Anderson makes that very clear. And that
it's going to water down
you
your
get these
amount.
candidates talking about and that's why he says to stop calling yourself minorities, because when you lump yourself in
with the groups,
with everybody else, black people are always going to get the short end of the stick. And so he also says, they are taking the very little that we can even possibly think about getting, and they're not coming over here to help us. I mean, it's like, and any candidate who keeps talking about, well, I want to help everybody, I want to help all Americans, don't vote for them. Because what they mean is, I'm going to help everybody else but you.
Exactly. So, and I want you guys to think about this. If you go to a Puerto Rican person or a Latin person, and you say, oh yeah, you're black.
Right.
They're black when it's convenient for them.
Right.
But when you go to them, you say, oh, hey, you're black. They're going to be quick to tell you, I ain't no black person.
And not to even like bring up any novelties here or anything, like trivial. But J-Lo is a perfect example.
Perfect example. She likes that black.
Well, for those of you guys who, I didn't watch the Grammys at all. I just don't even participate.
I surf YouTube, so I get a lot of my stuff off the clips on YouTube.
I did see that performance she did, and I was like, yeah, they could have passed on that. However, so I put up a post from a fashion extraordinaire, if you will, called Bevy Smith. And she tweeted...
Wait, Bev Smith from the BET back in the early days? Bev Smith?
I think it's her.
Okay. Dark Sister and Heavy?
Yeah, her.
Yeah, Bev Smith. Yeah, she had a show on BET back in the day.
Yeah, so she was the one that sits on there with the queens and something.
Okay.
Dudes.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So she tweeted, I'm paraphrasing, basically... J-Lo's over-sexualizing the Motown Review was a direct contradiction
to what Motown ladies were about. Yeah. The Motown ladies were about elegance.
And he being Berry Gordy, sent them to finishing school. And she said that was really because he didn't want...
Class.
Yeah, it was class, but he didn't want white America to...
be shocked by the over-sexualization?
Well, no, not shocked, but he didn't want them to... He didn't want, the women to perpetuate...
sexuality.
That's the stereotype that white people have of black women.
Right, over-sexualized.
So he purposely had them have clothes on and not move. And so the whole performance that she did, she's, shaking her butt and all that kind of stuff. But, so I put that tweet up and said, I didn't watch it, but I think this is a good point. And so a Puerto Rican friend of mine came on there and said,
Girl!
Well, no, she was more or less like, I don't understand what the big deal is. J-Lo is a black woman. Don't you know your roots and stuff? And I said, well, yeah, I guess if you're looking at it that way, she could be considered black in the fact that she, because Africans went to Puerto Rico.
Of course, Cuba, this like that. However,
I said, it's funny, I've never heard J-Lo call herself a black woman, nor ever heard her.
Cardi B will tell you in a minute she ain't black.
Well, yeah, but she
will tell you in a minute. Now, Nicki Minaj will say, I'm black.
Well, my thing is this, though. She, like in J-Lo, she said that I've never heard her say she was a black woman. And I've never heard her, and I'm not saying she hasn't, I just haven't heard of her speaking out about black issues.
Right.
And so, I'm like, we're so quick to claim and justify, why other people are black. But it's like you want to justify her being a black woman because people are mad because she didn't do a good job at the Motown Review and people didn't think she could do it. But why not? Why don't you also mention the fact that, okay, well, if she's black, how come she never says it? And how come she never, speaks out about anything black?
Well,
it's only black for her. It's her to be black when it's convenient.
Well, how about this? Maybe when she was dating Puff Daddy, she figures that makes her black. She hung out and then as soon as he got in trouble, she went ghost.
But that's just the thing, though. I think that's where we get it twisted. Is
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying we should shun people, but we are so accepting of other people who aren't even necessarily trying to claim being black. Yeah, so what? She dated a bunch of black dudes and she uses the N word. I don't think she does it anymore because she got taken to task about it. But that doesn't necessarily mean that she's black and she's for black people.
Exactly. And you know, she got her start as a fly girl through a black,
Yeah, I mean, but that's like
producer and stuff like
most
that.
people who aren't black, or let's call them ambiguous.
Okay.
You know, they use the black culture to get where they need to go, but then once they get there, it's like, oh, people like Puerto Rico and Mexico and all this other stuff. It's like, wait, hold on a goddamn minute.
Yeah.
You got to where you are off the backs of black people, just like white people did.
And just like we just like we said on your show Sunday, Vietnamese, whatever culture comes here, you make your economic base in the black community because we are the only ones that will let you come up, set up shop. You can choke us out, do whatever you want to do to us, and we will still patronize you.
Right.
So, those of us that are woke, and I was so proud of those comments because people were like, ain't doing it. Now, there are still some people out there that are falling for the okie doke.
Well, you're not going to change.
Yeah, you're not going to change everybody. And I want you to look at the demographics of the people who are still falling for the okie doke. We are considered Generation Xers, so everything kind of skipped over us. So
right.
our parents are baby boomers. So most of our parents are baby boomers. The baby boomers were of the mindset of there's a black candidate, just vote for him. And that's their mindset. They don't check the record. They were told to vote for these person because the pastor told them, or Martin Luther King told them,
right.
or Reverend Jesse Jackson, just vote for him because they're a black person.
Right.
Maxine Waters has been working on reparations for over 30 years.
Right.
That was her claim to fame when she got into
Where
office.
has Maxine been?
Oh, you didn't know they silenced her?
Did they?
That impeachment stuff?
Really?
They didn't formally, but she's part of the organization.
I mean, I'm just saying because you haven't heard anything else about her.
What? Didn't I call that out? Didn't I say that was going to happen?
I mean, like, where is Maxine? Is she all right?
Yeah, she's all right, but she's part of the establishment.
Yeah, sure they didn't snatch her up nowhere. No car came up and snatched her up.
You're going to be on this chairman's board. Sit your ass down. Stop talking about impeachment and go sit your ass down. And
yeah,
she
because
did.
when she got elected, it was all this talk about, oh, she's the chair or the head of the finance committee.
And she's going to go investigate his taxes. Nothing.
I'm like serious, y'all. Maybe it's just me because, like I said, I don't have television. But has she been around?
She's around. You see pictures of her up there? What did I say when all this was going on?
The last time I heard anything about her was when they was talking about, oh yeah, she's gonna get Trump, and then when she was reclaiming her time. That's the last time I really heard anything.
What did I tell you when all that was going down? Once the Democrats got power, what was she gonna do? Be very, very quiet.
Well, maybe she's reclaiming her time.
And she's been reclaiming her time for 30 years.
Yeah, maybe she's
Maxine, really, you've been working on reparations. Where are you at right there with that?
She's working on it.
Okay, she's working on it.
Yes.
But I go back to Kamala Harris and things like that. Now, also in the Breakfast Club interview, she was talking about some of the initiatives she's been working on. And of course, she throws out she signed on with Corey, some of the things that she signed on, with whatever it is. And she says she's got this Step Up initiative or something she's working on.
Well, it's not even something she's working on. I think it was, I can't remember who originally. Well, it's under the Trump administration because there was one guy who was actually at the State of the Union last week, the first black guy that was freed under it. That gives him like a second chance kind of thing. Yeah. And so I guess she's saying that she was in agreement with that with Trump and all that kind of stuff.
And she's working on bail reform.
Bail reform to where basically it converts to a no bail system in that you don't need money to get out because we know people.
Right, but isn't that an oxymoron? Here she was putting people in a situation. Top cop. You're putting people in a situation, and you know that there's a problem with the bail system, and you're going out of your way. I'm not saying don't do your job, but and then her answer to to everything when you go to her record about how she incarcerated people, innocent people, is yes, we know there's a victim in a crime. We all know that and stuff like that. We're not saying don't prosecute people that don't deserve to be prosecuted, but when you sit there and you challenge the Supreme Court that told you need to release these nonviolent offenders, but you wanted to keep them in there because it was a labor pool.
Yeah, she didn't want to diminish the labor force.
Right.
And get some good labor from those inmates.
You know what I mean? Okay, so, here's a woman that knows the problems. You've been a senator for 2 years. What's taking you so long to write? See, everything is, I'm working on it. I'm working. Are you guys going to fall
Well,
for that
that's
again?
what happens when you find out that, especially the black community is like, sister, not this time.
Right.
That then you got to go back and rewrite some stuff.
Right,
or maybe even draft it up in the first place.
Right, but my thing is, you've been in office for 2 years. What have you been doing up there?
And this is another thing I kind of wanted to address too, because you hear people say, well, she's a prosecutor. That's what prosecutors do. They prosecute people. Yes, we're not saying people, should get away with crime, regardless of what color they are. If you are, doing some heinous stuff out there, you should be held accountable. But at the same time, it's like we know that in a lot of areas, so it's not just her, prosecutors participate in the disproportionate prosecution of black people. They just do. And that's a fact. And so, you got to do your job as a prosecutor, but do it right, especially when it's a known fact that Kamala has been held accountable or called to the carpet on allowing shady and shoddy investigations to go forward, especially when there was a lot of misconduct
and within her office.
Within her office, where a judge was like, "Yo, you know this lady is in the lab that's fudging results, doing drugs."
Your own assistant DA fabricated a document.
Yeah, so right, so you're talking about as a prosecutor, you got to prosecute people, but you don't have to commit, fraud
crimes within the office.
So it's like that's the part of the interview that really got me the most frustrated, because they were like, well, black people shouldn't be able to get away with crime. Nobody is saying that. Yeah. But what about somebody like Kevin Cooper, who has spent 35 years in jail?
How do you get that back to that man?
Yeah, for something I don't want to say it's obvious, because anything is possible, but for the evidence that's gone forth, this man did not do that. And the first time it was brought to her, when she became the Attorney General for California, she said she didn't want anything to do with it, and did a 360 and kept it pushing. It only became sexy to her
when it got national attention.
When it got national attention, and Governor Jerry Brown and Dianne Feinstein was like, let's pick this up. Let's give this man a second chance, to prove his innocence.
And wait. And that, like I said, they only gave him a chance to prove his innocence. That he was still locked up.
He's still locked up.
Yeah, he's still locked up.
But they now gave him a chance at advanced DNA testing, but she was against that.
Right,
that is a black man who, by the evidence that we have, it clearly says the man didn't do it. And so you can't keep saying, well, as a prosecutor, I needed to do my job. No, you got to do your job, but do your job right.
Right, exactly.
I mean, you always side on the side of
law enforcement.
Up.
Yeah,
law enforcement. Guilty.
Yeah, law enforcement. She was against body cams. She was against, you're...
About the interview that made me mad is like, y'all letting this lady get away with the lies.
Wait,
yes.
What's one of the first things she said? Check my record. We did.
Okay, but, right. We did. But the other thing is, so you're saying now I was, my office, and when I got in there, we, implemented the body cams. Okay, yes, but go back to the first part of the story.
Yes.
And that's you were against it at first. So you're telling half the truth.
And like I've always said from day one, she goes to what's popular and what's going to get her to where she needs to go.
And check this other lie that she told. When Charlamagne, somebody asked her, did you ever get any campaign funds from a bank?
Oh, right.
She said no, and then somebody kind of pushed her a little bit, and she goes, well, not that I know of. It's like, you a whole lie. Steve Mnuchin, well, there's a big-time financier that foreclosed on 80,000 people.
Homes.
Sometimes to the tune of 27 cents. You were the only.
And disproportionately in California against blacks.
Yeah, and then Kamala was the only candidate from the Democratic Party that he gave money to.
Yes.
So how do you say, well, not that I know of?
Yeah, it's all
You're
good.
just lying.
And again, was I right about Kamala? I'm not saying I'm right. The thing is, and don't get me wrong, I'm not happy about my assumptions about this woman, but I am just glad people outside of California have done their homework and seen what this woman's really about and are holding her to task. Because like I said, a lot of people who don't know her record, they just saw the soundbite, how hard she was.
Right.
On old boy up there, and so they think, oh wow, she's a fighter. She says the
boy
right
being
things.
Brett Kavanaugh, Supreme Court Justice now Kavanaugh, where she was, talking all tough and walking tall, and you answer the
Straight,
question.
right? Straight. She was
Yeah,
doing her
you know,
thing.
people, that's kind of where she got catapulted on the national
level.
scene. People are like, well, whoa,
Right.
who is this? She
Right.
talking all tough to this white man and all of that. But it's like, okay, that's cute. But okay, let's get back to who you are. Because if you were on the witness stand or trying to testify about your record, you wouldn't be able to answer the questions all nice and squeaky clean either.
Right. And when she talked to Jeff Sessions, he was like, you're coming at me too quick.
And then notice this too, black people. I want y'all to notice this. Okay? Pay very close attention to when people say certain words. Because when Kamala was defending her record, notice the couple words that she kept using. Rape, child molestation, and domestic violence. So when you hear those things, and normally when you listen to the news, who is that normally talking about?
Exactly.
That's talking
It's a
about
code
black
word.
people. And so when she said, because she said it a few times, who was, I will ask those same people, do they think rapists and child molesters and, domestic violence abuse, do you think they should get off? Those are cold words for, that's what they attach to black people.
Yeah,
and
she's
so,
letting white people know that she will continue.
well, and that's also dog whistles for us too. Well, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. We should, because we shouldn't let those off. But it's like, okay, but pay close attention. No, that's like when Hillary and Barack was running, and she kept on bringing up like his votes. There's a couple votes that he was not present for, and
he abstained.
a lot of those votes were in regards to sex laws, and she kept bringing that
And
up.
feminist laws, yeah.
But it's like, pay attention to what she's not saying. Anytime you put sex crimes and deviance with black men, that automatically invokes an image, in especially the minds of white people. Okay, sexual deviancy and black men. Oh gosh, he could be a threat.
Right. Good example.
So be careful.
Good example. Justin Fairfax, the Lieutenant Governor of Virginia. He is under scrutiny for alleged sexual battery in his
I'm not
past.
even gonna say it's alleged. I'm gonna say it's bullshit.
Yeah, it's bullshit. Okay, but for legal
That's
purposes,
me.
alleged.
Right.
But who is the person that's leading the charge on that?
Your homegirl.
Homegirl Kamala Harris. Cory Booker also is saying that this is a disturbing type situation.
I mean,
or
yeah,
something.
but somebody is telling you somebody, forced oral sex on them and they raped them. Yeah, that's disturbing to hear. However, is it true?
Is it true? And then why are you,
And as we said too on the show, they're lawmakers. They're lawyers.
Lawyers.
Don't you guys know the process?
Right.
It's innocent until proven guilty, not the other way around. Why would you ask?
Well,
this
when it
man
comes to
step
black
down?
people, it's the other way around.
Yeah, but why would you ask him to step down? There's absolutely no evidence. And I hate that phrase, believe women. Not because I don't think we should believe women,
Not
but it
everybody's
says, I
believable.
believe you regardless if the story sounds like a load of caca.
Yeah.
I'm going to believe you
Well,
anyway.
well, let's turn it around. If we're going to believe women, why can't we believe men?
I have a better one for you.
Okay.
If we're going to believe women, why not believe Carolyn Bryant, the one who accused Emmett Till of whistling at her and being sexually inappropriate with her? Why not believe her?
Mm-hmm. And they did.
I mean, I know she now says she was full of shit, but I mean, to that ideology or that train of thought, wow. I mean, there's a whole lot of people who clearly lied about it. Like, how come we didn't believe, go along with that and believe Susan Smith, the one that drowned her kids for a dude, her jump off, and said a black man did it? Why don't we believe those since we're going with hashtag believe women, I believe women? That's silly to me.
Yeah.
Because you can't blanket that with, because there's some women out there who lie.
And there are a lot of women out there still to this day talking about the baby boomers. And like I said, and the reason why I prefaced the baby boomers before, because you got to understand it's a generational thing. That's the way they're thought, and they think, okay, just do that. Generation Xers, we're like, no, that's bullshit. We're looking at logic. We're a little bit more educated. We're saying this ain't working for us. John Lewis and everybody, we don't want to hear all that. We want tangibles.
Right, correct.
Correct. The millennials don't trust anybody.
Right.
Their generation, they're skeptical of everything. So I'm kind of proud of the comments that were said in the comment section of that thing. And if you look at a lot of comment sections where Kamala Harris, the white media, is trying to push her like this is the one we're going to go with, look at the comments. Read the comments. Are all those people wrong?
No, I mean, it just. I think that was probably a very rude awakening for her, to say the
and
least.
Corey.
Oh
yeah,
like
very, very much so. I mean,
Barack did it. We can do it too.
right. And like I said, and then the reason that was a shock, like you said, shock value for us because we had never seen anything like that. I mean, I knew what was going on.
Well, yeah. I mean, come on, let's keep it real. When Barack was running, we was all voting for him for the most part because it's a black man. We never, in our lifetime, we never thought we would see a black man become president, and when he had a real shot at it, it was like, hell yeah, I'm voting for him. Not once, but twice.
Right.
But then we learned that, okay, we got over that. The high came and went. Now, because when not that I've ever been high, I haven't, but when I understand when the high wears off, then you have to deal with reality. It's like, oh shit.
And and then and it's kind of a slap in the face where he did executive action, the DACA thing. He did, he could just do it. And one thing you guys don't understand about Trump, he is coming in there and he's saying, I'm the president. I'm going to do whatever I need to do to push my agenda. I can't blame him for that. So, and that's also showing us if he can do that, why didn't Obama do that? Why didn't these people, when it comes to certain things, I don't have a power. What are you talking about, Obama? You're the president.
Obama
let them fight it out.
Do it. He didn't want to because he was scared of white folks.
Exactly.
That's what it was.
Exactly.
I mean, that's just the truth.
But look at Trump. I'm going to do it.
Yeah, and then he's done it. What has he done?
Reversing everything.
But what has he done, though? He has helped his people. Who's his people? I'm not talking about all white people. I'm talking about the wealthy, rich people. And if you don't believe me...
He said, I've been put here by these people.
Look at your income tax return last year and this year.
Yes, significant difference.
There's people... I was watching the Young Turks and they were talking and reading tweets of people who were people who voted for him were like lamenting about how dare you, I was looking forward to using this money to pay off debt, going on a vacation, and now I have to pay or I'm not getting anything back. I trusted you, and they're laughing.
Right.
They're like, we're not trying to be mean, but it's
we
like,
told you.
What'd you expect?
Yeah, what did you expect?
You thought he was talking about you.
Trickle down economics never works. Why? Because rich people keep the money.
Right.
That's why.
Down my ass.
I mean, it does work if they would let it trickle down, but they don't. They want all the money. So, and that's like the 5th or 6th time? No, I think it's like the 8th time since the Reagan years that we've fallen for that. These folks keep following.
Well, that's what happened when you let racism be your banter cry, your banter call to get, making America great again.
Exactly.
You dumbass.
Exactly. So people have been asking me, what person I would vote for. And just real quick before we go to get into the second hour, Tulsi Gabbard, she's being attacked by the Democratic side and the Republican side. I'm not saying I would vote for her, but she is definitely an outsider. She's the congressman or senator, congresswoman from Hawaii. There's something about her platform that I'm looking at and kind of, I want to research a little bit more. But that Williams lady, she's definitely got my ear because she's talking about reparations.
Oh, Marianne Williamson?
Yes. I wish the black candidates would start addressing the black. It's a simple question.
Oh, yeah.
It's a simple. How are you a black candidate and you don't have a black agenda?
Because I'm scared of white folks.
Yeah, we understand that.
See if we have any questions on that chat.
No, we don't.
No, okay. Did you figure it out from last week? Okay.
So no, we don't. But that's the kind of stuff we want you guys to kind of look into and just do your homework. And like I said, I got to give a big shout out to those people that are really awake. And real quick, some of my relatives, I got a lot of feminists in my family because I got a lot of women in my family.
Are you scared of them?
My heart don't pump no Kool-Aid. I'm going to vote for her no matter what. I know her record. And then when I would tell them certain things that they didn't know, I would say, wait a minute, you said you know her record. Number one, I know you don't know her record because...
If you did, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Right, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
If you're serious.
Right. So once I told them that, they're like, oh, I didn't know that. Hey, that's what I'm talking about.
Because let me shut up. But I don't want to be... Because they might be...
Yeah, but do you see what I'm saying?
No shade to them, but it's like you like everybody else. You just go along with the talking points. Right. It's propaganda. Throw that out there. And then they'll just... Because they ain't going to research it.
Right.
And they going to argue with somebody who try to tell them differently. Just throw it out there.
And I'm just saying this. As a father of 2 sons, 2 black sons, this woman would never get my vote based on her record. Not against her personally. I think she's a beautiful woman. I think she's, she isn't charismatic, but she's beautiful.
She is to some degree charismatic.
But she's not Obama charismatic. But it's not a personal thing with me. I'm basing my thing off her record. And if you're a mother of young black boys or just young kids, to support this woman, to me, is a slap in the face. Mm-hmm. In my opinion. So
I mean, and when she first announced, I saw droves of people talking about, "Oh, I'm voting for, I'm voting for."
Ricky Smiley, Sorrows.
And then when I said something to them, they was like, "Oh,
yes." And have you noticed?
One girl was like, "I just donated to her campaign."
Yeah.
I was like, "That was money wasted."
Yes. Have you noticed where Ricky Smiley hasn't been seen anywhere since he put that
Well,
post
that's
up?
what happened when you get the cooning without thinking first.
Right.
You know, be a conscious coon at least.
You know, and there's nothing wrong. If he wants to support his sororo, go and support it. But tell us why. Don't just go out there and da-da-da-da. I'm telling you why not to
Tell
support it.
everybody to do it.
Right. Okay, in the second hour, you guys, we're going to get go. And Dimitri, what are you talking about in the second hour?
We are talking about South Africa.
South Africa. What's happening in South Africa?
Oh, gosh, just stay tuned.
Just stay tuned. If you guys haven't heard, a lot of stuff's going on. But before we go, do not forget Valentine's Day is 2 days away. Check out Facebook, Shantae, Stella, and Dot Style Divas if you're looking for a gift. And I'm telling you, you Negroes out there, do not show up to your side piece without a gift. We'll see you guys in the second hour.
Well, they have, to the 15th to do that. So that's side piece day right there.
Just wanna crash, let's just make it last. Instead of slowing up, we're moving fast. I just wanna crash, let's just make it last. We're moving forward, forget the past. I just wanna crash part 2 so that I can make it last with you. I just wanna crash part 2 so that I can make it last with you.
Look at you, can't stay mad at me, cause I be holding you down like I'm gravity. You are on my magazine, so it's fair to say that it's vanity. All that makeup, she ain't clowning. Hit the flow like Logan Browning. They probably never even heard of you. I got your back like a vertebra. I don't care what other people think, I'm only tapping that like a kitchen sink. And your favorite color, your underwear, cause you love pink. Kamehameha wave, girl, let's have a blast. Always put you first, I never put you last. Teacher, you have class, huh?
I just wanna crash, let's just make it last. Instead of slowing up, we're moving fast. I just wanna crash, let's just make it last. We're moving forward, forget the past. I just wanna crash part 2 so that I can make it last with you. I just wanna crash part 2 so that I can make it last with you.
She let me crash like a test dummy. She let me smash on me. I'm EG, yeah, I got the Chad on me. Swoosh, I just do it, got a check on me. The walls up, she called me Lil Jericho. Turn the lights off, you still see my carrots grow. Who would love you? You would probably would never know. Laughing them, copying, they got paraflows. I'm done with the rapping, girl, what up? Together, girl, we on the come up. Did I mention you hotter than summer? She good in the kitchen doing numbers. Whoa.
I just wanna crash, let's just make it last. Instead of slowing up, we're moving fast. I just wanna crash, let's just make it last. We're moving forward, forget the past. I just wanna crash part 2 so that I can make it last with you. I just wanna crash part 2 so that I can make it last with you.
They say we up to something like we're meddling. She rep her color hard, she team melanin. On the road to riches, gas pedaling. We're always on the run like Ali Felix, gold medaling. And I don't feel like that I'm settling. She got a shocking figure how those wires work. It sparks in the air, I guess my pliers work. And we fight sometimes like it's Tekken, yeah. But I wouldn't even change it for a second.